आलो आहोत आज पॅरेंट्स मीटिंगसाठी आणि आज शाळा पण बघायची आहे मिडल स्कूल. या ठिकाणी आम्ही हे स्टुडंट शेड्यूल जे आहे ते पिकअप केलेलं आहे. यामध्ये स्टुडंटचा ID नंबर आहे आणि सब्जेक्टचे नाव आहेत आणि क्लासरूमचे नंबर या ठिकाणी दिलेले आहेत आणि टीचरची नावं पण दिलेली आहेत.
Cheerleaders this morning. All right, well, good morning to all of you and welcome to Fowler Middle School. My name is Donnie Wiseman and I'm the principal here at Fowler, and we are super excited to get this year started. So thank you for being here with us this morning as we kick off this 6th grade flight camp and welcome all of our new batch of 6th graders here to Fowler Middle School. I do want to introduce a couple of people to you really quickly. Miss Swallow, your 6th grade assistant principal. I'm going to ask her to come out here with me, along with Miss Beck, who is our 7th and 8th grade assistant principal here at Fowler Middle School. Really quick, we want to check to make sure that all of our students have a white schedule in hand. So 6th graders, grab that schedule. You're going to hang on to that throughout flight camp this morning. And we ask that you bring that back on Wednesday with you when you arrive for school on Wednesday morning. So raise that high. I want to see that all of our 6th graders have that schedule in hand. Excellent. All right, well, every year when we kick off our 6th grade flight camp, we have students coming from 3 different elementary schools, and then we also always have new students who enroll. So really quick, we're gonna do kind of a roll check. If you are coming from Bogart, please stand really quickly. All right. If you are from Riddle Elementary, please stand really quickly. And Taylor Elementary. All right. And finally, we want to especially welcome all of our new students, maybe coming from other campuses in Frisco, or maybe you've just moved to this area. If you are a new student to Frisco ISD, we ask that you stand at this time as well. All right. Well, every year it's a tradition here. If you are from Bogart Elementary, please stand and show your Fowler spirit. Taylor Elementary, let's hear from you. And Riddle Elementary. And new students or students from around Frisco ISD, please stand and show your Fowler spirit. Thanks so much. And parents, we never want to leave you out. If you are a new Fowler parent, please stand and show your Fowler spirit this morning as well. Looking forward to this event this morning. At this time, we're going to have our cheerleaders back out for our first cheer chant.
Is everybody ready to meet those 6th grade teachers? Let me hear it. All right, to kick us off, here are your 2022-23 Marvelous Math Teachers. Let's go, Math Teachers!
love all that Fowler spirit out there. All right, we do have a very fun event planned for you this morning. In just a moment, sixth graders, we are going to be separating you from parents. So before we do that, the band is going to play again, but that gives you just a little bit of time to visit with your parents who are hopefully sitting next to you so that you have agreed upon a place around our campus, and it can be in the cafeteria, it can be in the front of the school, that you are going to meet your parents once this event is over with at 11 o'clock. So you have a little bit of time if you've already made arrangements to find your parent following the end of this event. Parents, we do ask that you hang on to those supply packets. We don't want to send students around throughout all of the events that we have planned carrying those supply packets. So hang on to those for us, parents. Once again, students, you are going to need that schedule in hand. I want everyone to look at that schedule quickly. When we dismiss after our band plays their final song, you are going to be headed to your first period class. We're going to start things this morning with you having a chance to go through your entire schedule. You're going to get to meet your teachers. They're going to visit with you really briefly, and a mini bell schedule will direct you throughout this schedule. Do not worry. I know that many of you have never been to this campus before. We're going to have teachers and staff out in the hallways helping you and directing you to find your next classes. But at this time, you need to know the room number of your first period class, because when we dismiss, and we will do that in a very orderly fashion because we have a lot of people in here, I will dismiss by sections of students. Make sure you know where that room number is, and then there'll be people in the hallway to help with that. All right, at this time, I'm going to come back and dismiss after we finish our final song from our Fowler band. So let's hear it, guys. You're going to be headed to your first period class. Parents, we do have a parent orientation following this event that's going to be back in the cafeteria. But for now, parents, we're asking that you just stay seated. We will dismiss you last. We want all students to get out into the hallway to find their first period class. So at this time, sixth grade students sitting on this side here, if you will please stand, you're going to step down carefully from the stands, and you're going to head out this direction. Guys over here, please stay seated. Wait. Guys, everyone stay seated here. All right, now we're ready for this side. Sixth graders, if you will stand, make your way carefully down from the bleachers. You're going to exit out these doors as well. Sixth graders, you have plenty of time to find your first period class. We're asking that everyone be in first period by 9:30. You've got 10 minutes to find it, and there's lots of people to help out in the hallways if you're not sure where you're headed.
आम्ही बसायला होतो ते शोधामध्ये जाऊन
without all of your questions answered. Once we get through the presentation, we hope that will answer many of your questions, but then we will be available until the last question is answered. As I mentioned before, we do have the school supply packets that will be available for parents to pick up if you've not had a chance to do that, and if you pre-ordered and prepaid for those. Our cheerleaders sold those last spring, and those are available to be picked up. Once again, throughout our time, whenever you hear that bell ringing, that's dismissing students throughout their mini bell schedule, so don't let that alarm you. We may even have students kind of passing through as they go to their PE classes as well. But once again, I thank you for being here. Our partnership with you is super important to us.
About the school and the staff and the teachers here. So I am excited for the school year, and I hope y'all are too. Our PTA, we are a very active organization here with the Fowler staff, the teachers, and we just love to support them in any way we possibly can. And in order for us to do that, we need your help. We need you to go to fowlerpta.com and sign up for membership. We need you to watch out for emails and communications and follow the Fowler Facebook and Instagram page because they also support us in helping to communicate our activities and fundraisers to you all. And we need you to volunteer for activities and PTA events. And I would like to also introduce to you right over here, Shawan Simpson. Shawan has an incoming 6th grader, so she's with you all, and she's our VP of membership this year, so she is an excellent resource for questions. If you have any questions or thoughts or anything about membership, that she's our go-to girl. So I'll let her say a couple words and then we'll turn it back over.
Well, I am very excited to be the VP of membership. I've been at Taylor and I've always been on the PTA there, and I was president leaving Taylor from last year. So I'm really excited to be here to help Fowler as well. Guys, okay, quick question. How many of you go and buy Starbucks coffee every morning? Anybody raise their hand? A couple of you? Okay. So that's like $5, right? There we go. So that's $5, right? So a membership for one person is 10. Okay? A membership for a family, for you and your husband, is 16, or your spouse is 16. So please consider joining. It's only $10 if you join as one. It's 16 if you join as a family. We really need you all's support because we want to make sure that we're supporting our wonderful Fowler staff this year. And the
Her earlier, she may be helping with some other events, but she is also a 7th and 8th grade assistant principal here at Fowler Middle School. So once again, thank you for being here. We are going to be going through a lot of information, and you are welcome to take pictures of the slides, but tomorrow we will be emailing all parents. How many of you have been receiving emails from us? All right, that is our primary mode of communication. It's important that you are reading through all of that important, especially beginning of year information that we are providing, but tomorrow you can expect kind of a first day procedures email from us. And in that, we are going to link this presentation for you. So you will get a copy of that, and you will be able to access that tomorrow once we do so. But lots of information. We're going to go through this information really quickly because we have about an hour, and about an hour is all you can sit on these benches anyway. So we're going to get through it really quick. All right, Ms. Swallow. Oh, actually, we're going to hear from Nurse Sai before we turn things over to Ms. Swallow.
Hello, my name is Violet Tai, and I'm the school nurse here at Fowler. I only have a few things to go through. 6th graders are not required to have any new immunizations turning, but when they are getting ready to go to 7th grade, there are 2 shots that are required, and those are given usually after their 11th birthday. And some of y'all already have emailed me the records already, so that's wonderful. But throughout this 6th grade year, if your kids had gone to the 11th year old checkup, go ahead and email me the records, so that way I can check them off. That way during summer, in going to 7th grade, I won't be bugging you. There's a hearing and vision screening for new to district students only. Sixth graders are not being screened unless there's any issues that we need to monitor for. Let's see, medications. If you are sending your kids any medications, it has to be in the original bottle, and the form has to be filled out, and then turn it to me. All this information is on my website. So if you go to follow website, under resources, there's a nurse tab. My information is there if you have any questions. And if your kids have any medical conditions, please communicate with me. All these medical forms do not transfer from elementary school to middle school. So every year, those medical forms has to be done, and it has to be signed by the doctor also. So if your kid has asthma, seizure, food allergies, all these medical forms has to be done every single year, and those medications has to be turned into me in the clinic. And so I encourage you to communicate with me if your kids has any medical conditions, so that will help me to take care of your kids better. I think that's all. Unless you have any questions, I'm available. Like I say, you can email me or shoot me a phone call. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Nurse Sign. Later today, if you would like to return to campus this afternoon, our building's going to be open until about 4:30 today. You're welcome to drop off any of those medications for Nurse Sign today and throughout tomorrow. It is best that happens before our first day of school. Certainly parents can drop that off at any time, but that gives us a chance to kind of have all of that in place and secure before our first day of school. All right, we're going to get started with just some kind of academic information, and Ms. Swallow's going to lead us through a lot.
Just buy a gray shirt and black shorts. Just make sure it has their name on it. They do not have to dress out until August 15th. So this first week they're not dressing out, but on that Monday, that will be part of their grade and their participation, because it gets really hot if they're trying to run the track in jeans. I promise it is not comfortable in August. So make sure that they have that uniform. I suggest that you put it in like a little string bag that they can put in their backpack, because sometimes when they're all sweaty and then it just gets shoved in their backpack, and you open that in the car, you might need the windows down. Please no. Academic opportunity lunch. We know as humans that sometimes life happens, things slip through the cracks, or we forget to do something. This is an opportunity for our students that may have forgotten to do their homework, where they can do this at lunchtime. So it's kind of like a working lunch. They would take their lunch, they would work on their homework, that way they can get submitted to their teacher, and they can continue on the learning process. Because we don't want them to miss out on that opportunity to gain more information.
We have implemented
Student handbook agenda. As I said before, our teachers meet twice a week in a teaming meeting, and this is a 45-minute time frame. This is where the teachers really dig in and say, how are our kids doing? Is somebody a little bit behind? What can we do? What supports? I want to do this cool enrichment project with them. Let me have this time that I can do with this. This is where our teachers really get to know the kiddos, and then that way in the hall, they can say them by here to work and have fun. Dresses and skirts. So our young ladies, many of them have grown over the summer. I cannot see anything underneath that I shouldn't be seeing. It needs to be longer than that. If you bend over and touch your toes, I shouldn't be seeing anything that I shouldn't be seeing back there. So they need to make sure that it's long enough. That's dresses, skirts, shorts. Head coverings and sunglasses. I know at the end of the year last year, lots of students started wearing like these pink sunglasses, little heart cute or stars that were blue. We're not going to wear sunglasses to school. They can wear them if they bike or walk to school, that's fine, but they'll need to be in their backpack because it's a distraction to the learning environment. I know some kiddos have like those blue tinted for the computer. That's fine, as long as they're wearing it to use the computer. Students are also allowed to wear their hoodies, especially on cold days. I know a lot of students get off the bus or out of the car and they have their hoodie on, that's fine. But we do ask that it is far enough back so that we can see their face. This is a safety precaution. If something were to happen, we do have cameras around the building, or a teacher needs to be able to identify that student that's in trouble, or if something's happening and we're doing a drill, we need to know who everybody is and be able to see their faces. Pants and shorts. again, same thing like with dresses. Shorts, people grow. They need to be sure that when they squat down, we can't see any of the belt area flying backwards, or if they bend over, I shouldn't be seeing anything on the backside. Don't need to be seeing that. Shoes. Shoes need to have soles on them. I know that kind of funny. We can't go barefoot at school. There could be something on the floor. I don't want anybody stepping and scraping their toes. House shoes, we don't wear slippers to school. They need to have like sandals, tennis shoes. They can wear boots, but it needs to have some kind of sole in them. For PE especially, they need comfortable shoes to be running. They will be doing running. They usually do the mile once a week. So they're gonna have to have running shoes of some sort that don't make their feet blister. Shirts and blouses. I went shopping the other day and I looked at the shirts and I'm like, wow, they're short. When the girls or boys lift their hands up, I should not be able to see midriff at all. If they have those kind of shirts, I know they're popular. My daughter did the same thing. She's like, why? No. They have to have a camisole or something underneath of them. I know it's popular right now, but that's a learning distraction as well. All right, so what happens if all of a sudden our lovely wonderfuls wear something they shouldn't be wearing to school? Or they walked out of the house wearing what they should be, and then all of a sudden they're here and they shouldn't be wearing that. It's okay, because we have a lovely array of items that they are able to put on. They will be required to wear the appropriate attire. They cannot be sent home to change clothes. We don't have them call you and bother you at work to get clothes. They're lovely red t-shirts and the lovely red sweatpants. They're kind of blousy around the legs, and they'll be perfectly fine. They are laundered and sanitized, so you don't have to stress about that. Basically, they'll be called down to the office. We'll ask them to change. They give me the inappropriate attire, and they go change. And then at the end of the day, they can come and get their inappropriate attire and take it home. And then I'll wash their clothes. So again, if it happens, we have something there, but they are not going to be excused to go home and change or to call you to change. Lots of them will say, well, I'll wear my sweatshirt all day. You can wear my red t-shirt instead. So if it happens, and I will let you know, I will give you an email if it happens. It's not the end of the world, I promise.
And more importantly, these measures allow students to stay in class. We want to protect instructional time at all costs. So if there's an incident, just as Ms. Swallow has described, we will get them down to the office and back in class as quickly as we can to protect that instructional time.
The last one is if they go to a football game at Lebanon Trail, they still need to wear appropriate clothes. It's an extracurricular, you're representing Fowler, we want you to be Fowler professional, dressed appropriately. All right, cell phone and electronic devices. I know there's a whole lot on this slide. The good news is last year, we never even got to the third offense. Our kids are really good with this. Again, we've had a couple that have the first offense or the second offense. The biggest thing to know is with a cell phone, you as a parent have to come and pick it up.
And they are unsupervised. We do not provide supervision here at this campus until 7:30 each day.
Dismissal. So, the last bell rings at 3:45. We highly recommend and would like if all students are picked up by 4 o'clock. We do have our teachers stationed outside around the building to supervise, to help with crosswalks, to make sure that the flow of traffic is going. But at 4 o'clock, they do come back inside so they can finish their day and they can close up their classrooms. If your child's ride has not arrived at whatever door they are exiting from, most of the 6th graders exit out those doors because that's the closest 6th grade out of the 6th grade pod. They will be asked to move to the very front of the school. So if something happens, you're running late, you have a flat tire, your child will be at the front, not at the side, if that's where you normally pick them up. Again, no loitering. You'll hear the teachers say, it was a great day, we love you, now go home. Because we gotta keep it moving, because we want them to get a lot of rest, make sure that they get a lot of nutrition and they're ready for the next day. So no loitering around, and you'll hear us ask them to go ahead and leave. Morning flow of traffic. So it's a little bit different from the morning than it is in the afternoon. So in the morning, you can drop your child off in the front drive, on the side right over here. Those are the best two locations, or on the very far drive over there. Any of those are open. If they're dropped off on the far side, they'll have to walk to the very front to be let in because those doors are not unlocked. But you can drop them off right here and they can come straight into the cafeteria. I will let you know that in the morning we do have quite a few buses. Last year we had 4 buses that arrive at different times between 7:55 and 8:10 that may kind of jam up the traffic a little bit on that side, but just be patient. Please, please, please don't let your child out next to a bus. Like many times last year I saw people, they were letting their child out and they were right next to a bus and they would try to cut in front of the bus. That's very dangerous because the bus can't always see over the front little nose part. You just have to wait and be patient. I promise the buses are moving as fast as they can.
Fowler parents, it's also important to note that all of our drop-off and pickup procedures require that students are dropped off and picked up on curbside. We don't want students walking out and around through the car. The way that this is designed, they load into the car from the sidewalk into your vehicle instead of walking all the way around. So again, to reiterate what Ms. Swallow just said, we never walk through traffic. We never have double lanes of pickup. You wait in line and pick up along curbside. This is especially very challenging in the afternoons when you're dismissing. Throughout drop-off, people are dropping off students really kind of periodically throughout the morning, so there's not a lot of congestion, but I can assure you in the afternoons for pickup, this is going to be frustrating at first for you. I ask you to plan ahead. Trust me when I say it. I've been principal here for 16 years. We've had traffic engineers out here over and over to look at our traffic flow patterns. Our priority is student safety. So plan ahead. I will tell you, we are also expecting this year to be even more challenging. We have over 100 transferred students into this campus this year that do not qualify for bus services, which means we have probably an additional 100 parents who are going to be waiting in the lines in the afternoons to pick up students. So plan ahead. We have done everything we possibly can. I know it's going to be frustrating. If you arrive early, you can be in line waiting, but otherwise know that it can take up to 15 to 25 minutes sometimes to pick students up, especially in the first couple of weeks. It always balances out a bit so that that's not something you're going to face consistently throughout the year, but plan ahead. Be respectful as well. I know it's frustrating. I know you got to get to work, but I would make sure that you're dropping off in plenty of time to provide yourself with time to get to work.
Ending. So your child, the first game, will probably come home and be like, that Miss Swallow, she came by like 7 times and told me to call you. Yes, I did, because I want to go home and eat dinner. It's usually what it is. But no, but we come around and we're like, hey, text your mom, call your mom, do you have a ride? Where are they at? Do you know what's going on? Because we want to make sure everybody is picked up in a timely manner. The other thing is they have to be passing all of their classes to be able to go to the game. If our students are not passing their academic classes, they should not be coming to extracurricular events. They need to be using that time to study, to work on their classes, and see what else that they can do to improve. And we do have a list that we check at the door. And if they're absent or they're sent home by the nurse because they're sick, please don't send them to the games. We don't want to get anybody else sick. We want them at home resting so they're ready to come back to school the following day when they are feeling better. Tell them to sit, they can get their lunch, or they bring their lunch, they sit down, and that is their designated spot. They don't get to jump around table to table and walk around and eat. Once they're seated, and that's where they're gonna sit. But if they don't wanna sit there tomorrow, they don't have to. They can pick somewhere else. But if you would like to come up and have lunch with your child, we do have the tables that are over here in the first hallway right here against the windows. That's what our visitor tables are for. And so that's where you can come and have your lunch. Remember, you can only bring lunch for your child. You can't bring it for your best friend's child, your child's best friend, the person down the street. It's just for you and your child. That is a Texas nutrition law that we have to follow. Oh, we have microwaves. They love using the microwaves so they can warm up their food. And I tell them every time too, don't put foil in the microwaves. I've seen that, and it's scary, and I tell them again. So if you can help me out, just remind them, and if they forget, it's not the end of the world. It's happened before. We'll make sure that nothing catches on fire. We'll be okay. But we always remind them not to put oil in the microwaves. Our campus was refurbished. We got new carpet, which is beautiful, and new paint on our walls. We do not want them accidentally falling out of their mouths and getting trapped all over the carpet. That's gross, and I don't want to step in it either. Water bottles. We do prefer for them to be the clear water bottles so we can see through it. They should only be bringing water to school. They should not be bringing juice, sodas. I would say no energy drinks. I don't think they need any more energy because then I have to keep up with them. Please don't do that to me.
We do have water filling stations throughout our campus as well. I don't know if you've had a chance to walk around. I hope that you will do that before you leave today. But in every hallway, we do have water filling stations for your students as well. So it's always a good idea that they bring that clear bottle that can be refilled throughout the day. We certainly want our students to stay hydrated at all times.
And if you've been in Frisco ISD, the lunch account's the same thing. It hasn't changed. You can add money on there. You can always see what's for lunch. As your students are growing, so are their appetites. I'm just going to warn you ahead of time. There's several days on today. You had a good run this morning. It's going to happen. So you might just talk with your child about that, and they're hungry, and they will eat every bite of those 4 pizzas. It is amazing. But if you ever need to add money, you can just go to the school cafe that's on our website and on the Frisco ISD website. The child will need to know their lunch number so that they can type it into buy lunch. We have 2 lines that they'll be able to go through. Everybody will be able to buy their lunch if they choose. Again, this year they do have to pay for their lunches. The free lunches is no more. But they have the microwave if they bring something from home that they would like to warm up.
In addition to that, students will be issued a
over here to over here, and then flows to over here. Lots of items. So I will remind your child, please go look at the lost and found. I'm not going to go searching for the lost and found very often. I don't do that. But at the end of every 9 weeks, we will have a location, usually our stage, where we lay out all the lost and found items for them to take one last look. Anything that's left after that time period will be donated to a charity because we have to keep it clean. There's too many things to pile up. School safety. I know this is a big one, and we take this very seriously here at Fowler and in Frisco ISD. So when you come to our school, no matter how many times you've been here, no matter how many opportunities there is to volunteer, and we love our volunteers, you will be required to show your ID. You will not get through the door without an ID. Just like many of our elementaries, we do have the video doorbell where you'll have to show the ID to the doorbell. All of our doors will be locked when school is in session. One of the other things that we're doing is exterior door checks. So once a week, as an admin team, we will go around and we will be sure that every single exterior door is locked and cannot be opened from the outside. This is something that Frisco ISD is implementing this year because we want to be able to keep our students safe. If you do have a doctor's appointment or an orthodontist appointment and need to pick up your child or need to check them out early, please plan in advance. It could take us anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. We have lots of open spaces within our campus. For example, our courtyard. Lots of our teachers love to take our students out to the courtyard. They can get fresh air, they can do activities out there. If they're in PE or pre-athletics, they're probably going to be on the track or out here in the grassy area working on some different skills, so it may take a little bit of time to get them. So just plan for that if you're going to come pick your child up.
Once again, the reason for that, parents, is to protect our instructional time. Kids can sit down and wait in the office for 20 minutes, sometimes waiting for parents to arrive for an appointment. So we do require that you are here in person to check them out through the procedures that we have in place to verify your identity before releasing students. So again, plan ahead to make sure that you're not calling the front office asking for that student to be waiting for you when you arrive. Plan ahead and you can come early.
Like I said before, when the students are dropped off in the morning, they're not allowed to go to the donut shop. They also can't go to racetrack. Cameras that are around the buildings that are monitored. We have a crisis management team. That's the team that meets to talk about how can we be safer. What happened in the fire drill and how can we be better. What can we do to be sure it happens in a timely manner? All of our staff are trained in the drills. We will also be training your students in the drills. We do a whole lot of drills because we want to make sure that it is second nature and that they are prepared, not just physically know where to go, but emotionally they know what to expect. And our teachers are going to have those conversations on, how do you feel about the drill? Did something scare you? What can we talk through? We want them to feel safe here, and we take that very seriously. We have our SRO, Officer Elskamp. He's our police officer on campus. He walks around, he's at lunches, he's in the cafeteria, in the courtyard, he's at different sides of the building in the mornings. He's very active with our students, they'll see him around. We want them to get comfortable with him and know that he is there to keep us safe as well.
Your 6th grade students will be here in the cafeteria going through safety and security presentations, where we provide a lot of our measures and the purpose behind a lot of the things that we do to our students so that they are also informed. We do require that students take our drills very serious. We want to be prepared in the event that we have to respond to any kind of emergency situation. And we practice that regularly. In fact, we practice that at the beginning of the year weekly. So you're going to hear your students talk about those lockdown drills that we will be practicing. There will be conversations with students about barricading in a classroom or trying to escape a classroom. This is a part of our measures to ensure that we are prepared at all times for any kind of crisis. I encourage you to have those conversations with your children. Ask them about the student safety presentations that we provide at the beginning of the year. They need to be informed as well, because we collectively have a responsibility to all be aware and ensure good safety measures at this campus. But hear me say this, it is important to us. We take this very serious here.
Around spraying desks and cleaning them with towels, we encourage that too, just to be able to keep our students safe and from all kinds of germs. The other area of safety, you met Nurse Sai. She is here all day, every day, taking care of our sweeties, and she's amazing at it. They'll come in very sad and leave very happy, and they feel much better. We also have the Stop It app. It's an app and a website. This is where either you or your child can report anonymously any bullying that's occurring. That also includes cyberbullying, because we know that that is a big thing that's been going on, and we take that very seriously as well. We have a whole presentation on that we give to each of the grade levels on what it looks like, what it sounds like, what we do to try to stop it, and what the consequences are if that is occurring and it's part of the learning environment and causing an issue there. Because we want everybody to feel safe here at school, not just physically safe, but safe academically to take those risks, and socially and emotionally safe, because they're all our children and we want them to grow in every way that they can. We have security audits from the district. We will be having also the police department. They're going to be coming and doing audit checks this year to make sure that everything is working appropriately like it should. We have our SAFER program, and we have Power to Change lessons. Our Power to Change lessons, those are kind of our character building that we're going to do during our ILA classes. This helps role play some different scenarios, talk about what do you do in this situation? How does this make you feel? How can you have grit? How can you dig in? How do you, what's your purpose? You know, and we want to look at that, and we want to build them up in every aspect.
Positions throughout our campus to direct you, but you do get to visit every classroom. You're going to get 4 minutes passing period to transfer to different classes throughout the evening. If you have 2 students at this campus, you want to bring 2 parents so that they can kind of go through this for their individual children. But it's a great night. Parking is always an issue, so plan ahead and just know that you may have to walk a distance to get here on that evening. But we want you here, and I hope that you'll make plans to be here that evening.
You've already seen our student handbook and the FISD Middle School Code of Conduct. This is for any of the extra information if I went too fast or you're not sure about it. Any questions you may have, this is the best place to go first, and then you can always contact us if you need some extra information that you can't find.
All right. Well, guys, our goal today was to provide you, yes, with lots of information, but my hope, and I know Ms. Swallow's hope, is not that you just see this as a bunch of do's and don'ts at this campus, but are left with a comfort knowing that we have good structures in place at this campus to both support your child academically, to ensure good safety at this campus. There is a purpose and a reason behind everything that we ask of our students. Sometimes it has to be the adults that help students really connect to that purpose and understand that. And we ask for your help in having those conversations in addition to the conversations we have with your students. But again, today, we hope that you had a lot of your questions answered. We finished right in 1 hour. I know you're tired of sitting on these benches. We have 30 minutes before the flight camp event will be concluding. And you're welcome to wait here in the cafeteria, but Ms. Swallow and I will be available to answer any questions down front. We will have our cheerleading moms back up on stage to issue school supplies if you ordered that school supply packet. But thank you so much for being here today. We hope that you find this information very helpful as we look forward to the start of this amazing school year ahead. Thank you very much.
प्रेझेंटेशन कसं वाटलं तुम्हाला? छान वाटलं का तुम्हाला प्रेझेंटेशन? छान वाटलं का प्रेझेंटेशन? कसं वाटलं तुम्हाला हे प्रेझेंटेशन? प्रेझेंटेशन संपलेलं आहे.